Did you know that according to Portugal's tourism board, over 85% of first-time visitors stick to the well-trodden path of Lisbon, Porto, and the Algarve? That means a huge majority of travelers are missing out on what locals consider the country's most authentic and beautiful region. So you've booked flights to Lisbon and maybe a few nights in the Algarve, and you're already daydreaming about pastéis de nata. But in this video, we're going to show you the city that completes the picture, the one that you'll regret skipping. We're talking about Viana do Castelo. Bom dia. I'm Wolf from It'll Be Fun. You've seen my parents, Alan and Leslie, on this channel for years. As a family, we've explored almost every corner of this country, well, almost, and we've learned the difference between the tourist trail and the real Portugal. We've built a community dedicated to finding those authentic experiences. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why your trip isn't finished without visiting the city of Viana do Castelo. If this is the kind of in-depth advice you're looking for, do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and comment below with your favorite spot in Portugal. It really helps this channel reach more people. A recent travel survey found that overcrowding is now the #1 complaint for visitors to Europe's major cities. And let's be real, Lisbon's got some beautiful views, Porto's wine tastings are lovely, and those Algarve cliffs are epic. But when you're shuffling shoulder to shoulder in line for tram 28 or hunting for a postage stamp of sand in August as yet another wide-eyed tour boat passes in front of you, you're tasting more of a postcard, not the country. You're experiencing the effects of that holiday rush of people. And it's not always fun. And so Viana do Castelo is the antidote to that. It's similarly a historically rich city, acting as the center of its region. It's walkable, as I said, it's history-soaked, and it's authentically coastal. You can enjoy the beach before breakfast and still have energy for a 10 a.m. cathedral tour without fighting a single crowd. The Atlantic crashes so close to the medieval stone, you'll swear you could smell the salt while you're on the cathedral steps. Our first time through was just as a stop on our way out further into the country. Yet, each time we've come back, we find something new to enjoy, like a festival or simply exploring something that we passed over previously. Portugal has over 1,700 kilometers of coastline, but the beaches here in the north have a very different beauty than, say, the Algarve down south. So let's start right here at Praia do Cabedelo. This is 10 minutes from the city center. It's a 5-kilometer stretch of powder white sand backed by pine dunes that protect it from the wind, making it a world-renowned spot for kite surfing. You can book a lesson to get yourself started, or just do as my mom and dad would, snag a chair at one of these cool wooden cafes and watch the show. However, it's not just one beach. You can hop across the river on the Eiffel design bridge, yep, that Eiffel, to Praia de Creso or Praia de Arda. These are quieter, more local spots where the tallest thing in sight might be a stork nesting on the cliff. The water is a bit cooler than the Algarve, I won't lie, but the waves are better. The crowds and tours are far less, and the beach bars pour a proper glass of vinho verde for just a couple euros. Viana do Castelo is one of the oldest settlements in Portugal, with its charter dating back to 1258. When you walk here, you're walking literally through 800 years of history. The square, the Praça da República, has been the beating heart of the city since the 1500s. On the other hand, the Igreja de Misericordia, wrapped in some of the finest blue and white azulejo tilework in the country. But the culture here isn't just in the stone. You have to visit the costume museum. It's tiny, but it's packed with these incredible traditional embroidered skirts that are heavy and ornate and can literally stand up on their own. You'll learn why the women of Viana once wore layers of gold filigree as a sign of wealth. It's a tradition. You'll see those same patterns now end up on modern surf brand hoodies. You'll find the icon Heart of Viana across the city and through its stores. Leslie's fallen in love with it. This isn't a performance for tourists. These are traditions, and they power the Romaria de Senhora de Agonia every August, a festival so huge it makes Sydney's New Year look modest. Well, that's an exaggeration, but you get what I mean. There's giant puppets, folk dancers, and incredible fireworks. But don't worry if you aren't here for the festival, just visiting the square in the center of town, you may find singers and bands performing dressed in the traditional garb of the area. The Santa Luzia funicular is one of the longest in Portugal, climbing over 650 meters up the mountainside. The ride itself is breathtaking, but it's nothing compared to the destination. From this terrace at the Basilica, its dome directly inspired by the Sacré-Cœur in Paris, you get what is, without a doubt, one of the top 3 views in all of Portugal. When we were there, we had the extra special treat of being there just as a bride and groom were coming out of the church. We discovered horses just around the corner. We think you can ride them, but we didn't actually figure out that one. There are, however, beautiful trails just beyond this area where you could spend the day walking and overlooking the city and the water. After all, this area is met by travelers hiking the coastal route of the Portuguese way of the Caminho de Santiago. Now down below, there's the Lima River, and the Atlantic Ocean melts into the horizon, and the entire city's terracotta roofs shrink to the size of a dollhouse. Now, my advice is time it for sunset. Regardless of when you go, make sure you visit the inside. It is surprisingly bright, and it's open and beautiful. The Basilica's rose windows let in more light than you would imagine. It is spectacular. One of the things I will remind you of is that it gets windy up here, so bring a jacket. Grab a coffee or hot chocolate from the little cafe. Locals swear it's the richest north of Porto. I guarantee after 10 seconds up here, you'll stop trying to find the words and just stare. Now, it was a little overcast when we visited recently, but it was still stunning. The Minho region is officially the birthplace of Vinho Verde, it producing over 80 million liters a year. We're in the process of trying the many different bottles. Maybe someday we'll have a concise favorite. So when you eat here, you'll be tasting dishes that have been perfected for centuries to pair with this specific wine. Back in the old town, just follow the scent of garlic or bay leaf to a place like Tasquinha de Linda. You have to be adventurous and order the caldeirada de enguias, an eel stew that fishermen once cooked on their trawler decks. Paired with a glass of local Loureiro wine that tastes like green apples and sea spray, they say it's unbelievable. Now, I haven't gotten over the word eel yet, but I will try it and I will let you know. If you're not an eel person though, don't worry, the salt cod or bacalhau a la Gomes de Sá is buttery perfection. And for dessert, the rabanadas, which is a Portuguese pão perdu or French toast, will honestly ruin all other French toast for you. Best part, a full 2-course meal for 2 people with wine will cost you around 40 or 50 euros. Now, you can't quite match that value in Lisbon's tourist core. Between 1955 and 1973, the Giliana's ship served as the sole source of medical care for thousands of Portuguese fishermen working the treacherous cod fishing routes in North Atlantic. So it's not just a museum ship, it's a bit of a time capsule. Moored right here on the river, it's a beautiful white-hulled vessel and is well preserved. You can walk through the original operating theater, complete with 1950s scalpels and medical gear that look like props from maybe a horror movie. You can stand on the aft deck and imagine this ship lurching in the Arctic swells while doctors perform appendectomies under storm lamps. And the audio guide tells you the crew's stories, bringing the vessel back to life. It's an experience that you won't forget. So here's the deal. You can stick to the Lisbon-Porto Algarve circuit. Stand in queues, scroll through the same photos everyone else takes, and repeat. Or you can tack on 2 or 3 nights in Viana do Castelo. You can wake up to the sound of church bells mingling with salt air, surf glassy waves before your coffee cools, and eat better for half the price. You can leave with stories and experiences that no one at home would have heard. Now, if that sounds like the Portugal trip you actually wanted, then go ahead and pin Viana on your map right now. And I didn't even get into the greater area in this video. After all, Viana do Castelo isn't just the name of the city, but it's the name of the region too. If you're feeling inspired and want to plan your own trip or even a move to Portugal, our family's here to help. We have a monthly online meetup where you can ask us your questions directly in a live group setting. If you want personalized help, you can book a one-on-one consultation with my parents or me. And if you're ready for a deep dive, our Moving Abroad program is a complete video course that covers everything from visas to finding a home. You'll find it all on our website, it'llbefunretirement.com, or support us by becoming a member on YouTube. Huge thank you to all of you watching and supporting our channel. It's because of you that we get to share these incredible ideas. Let me know what you think. Is Viana on your list? After all, we should have done this sooner.